What is up, guys? It's your least favorite YouTuber, Chaos, and I'm here today to break down some of the jargon that's used by red pill philosophers, MGTOW monks, and the general population of men who follow these practices. But first, what's MGTOW? So MGTOW is an acronym that stands for Men Going Their Own Way. This is a belief system which abstains from marriage, rejects gynocentrism, and is often related to rejecting female interaction totally, apart from family and in some cases even then. It's a broad spectrum of beliefs with no hierarchy, no leaders, and like all movements is simply an idea. A growing idea that is quickly gaining popularity because men are getting sick of dealing with a society that's designed to accommodate women while throwing its builders under the bus. It's not about shaming women, it's not about hating them. It's just a group of guys who simply want to be left the hell alone. There are many walks of MGTOW that seem to be accepted by the general population. Some say you can't be MGTOW if you are X, Y, or Z. But every idea has its denomination. Some are put off by the MGTOW level system because it suggests that there is a higher person than the other in a particular spectrum. This is why I prefer to call them MGTOW types rather than levels. Myself being a type 1 MGTOW, which generally separates red pill from purple pill. So, what's red pill? Red pill and MGTOW go hand in hand. It's part of the ideology. Red pill and blue pill being what you would see from Matrix when Morpheus handed the pills to Neo. One pill keeps you in dreamland and you can believe whatever you want to believe, but the other pill wakes you up. Red pill is a state of awareness, an awareness that suggests that you are more in tune to a woman's shit tests and just her behavior, her nature, hypergamy, and gynocentrism in society, which is the opposite of misogyny. So, we'll get to blue pills in a minute, but there's these things called purple pills. No, not that purple pill. The purple pillars are a group of guys who are aware that women can be conniving creatures, but they still believe in monogamy and marriage, essentially a cross between blue pills and red pills, showing that they are aware but willing to engage in marital ties, or have already taken their vows of servitude. So what's the blue pill? Blue pillars are guys who think we're nuts. We got hurt one too many times and now we all hate women. They believe that not all women are like that, while often they, ironically, paying for his girlfriend's wants rather than her needs, ignorantly reinforcing bad behavior, and will inevitably end up hurt in the long run. These guys are often referred to as simp, cucks, white knights, BP, manginas, etc. These terms are interchangeable with very little differences, but we'll revisit that topic in just a second. But chaos. Not all women are like that. Oh, yes they are, to one capacity or another. It's true that some women aren't as bad as others, but I tell people that women are on a sliding scale of 1 to 10, but never 0. The belief that there are women out there that are an exception to their nature, that's called NAWALT, which is often referred to as chasing unicorns. It's an acronym that means not all women are like that. You might also hear variations of not all men are like that, or all men are like that, or AWALT, or AMALT, or NAMALT, respectively. Basically to suggest that there are women out there who are able to resist the very laws of nature, like the laws of physics, or the laws of thermodynamics, or the laws of gravity. They're laws. They cannot be broken. It's just simply the way things are. If anyone tells you otherwise, they're lying to your face. So what about the pink pill? So the pink pill is also known as WGTOW, or women going their own way. It's the polar opposite of MGTOW, but instead of fighting against a gynocentristic society, they believe that the world is full of misogyny, which is the opposite. It's a belief system that believes that society caters to men rather than women. They believe that the world is full of misogyny, and that women are the ones who are oppressed. A topic that can and has been easily debated and disproven. I'm not going to get into that right now because it would turn this into an hour-long video. And to be honest, I really don't want to give this any more attention than it deserves. Pink pill is often synonymous with the fourth wave feminism and a parody of MGTOW. Feminazi. Oh, thank God for the internet and the power of memes. This being a clever combination of fourth wave feminism and Nazism to draw a parallel between their insatiable desire to cram their beliefs down our throats, or the throat of anyone willing to listen. Their forms of attack are often things like nagging, bitching, whining, and complaining. Not to be confused with the earlier forms of feminism, which I support. As much destructive potential as women inherently have, and the powers given to them by the government, doesn't make them any less of a human. They should have the right to vote and own land if they so choose. I'm not above equality, as long as you pull your own weight in society, which New Wave feminism has not. It's disgusting, and MGTOW is our middle finger to it, because societies have collapsed when ran strictly by women. Women. Every single time. Now, this isn't hate speech. It's history. Okay? So, moving on. Speaking of which, that reminds me about black pills. These guys, they see the course that we're on, and they're a bit pessimistic. And they're kind of the epitome of the fuck it squad, right? These guys are on a plane they know is going to crash, so instead of trying to land it in the Hudson River, they'd rather enjoy the ride. These guys are the ones who have seen what happens to society, based on the history that I just talked about, that becomes overrun with self-entitlement, generally the opposite of white pill, which is the optimistic counterpart of black, who really have one thing in mind, and that's to watch the world burn. Moving on to AWM. Wrong AWM. So AWM stands for those guys who are awakened while married, specifically legally married. The guy whose wedding chorus starts sounding more and more like a funeral march. These guys are often referred to as fagtow, but it doesn't make them any less a man. Unfortunately, it's easier to remain blissfully ignorant in this case. But they are subject to losing half of everything they've worked hard to get, including alimony and child support. These guys are the ones who realize that their wife has got them by the balls. This is why I do not support legal marriage, but prefer the religious or ceremonial marriage as a substitute, so long as common law marriage doesn't exist in your state or country. If you must be married, that's usually the safest way to do it. Now, what about AVFM? If you've heard of AVFM, it's an acronym that isn't often used, but it caught my eye. It looks like a radio station or maybe a podcaster, but it stands for A Voice for Men. There are a ton of other acronyms and jargon that are used in forums, videos, posts, and what have you. And enough pills to open a pharmacy. There's just as many words and jargon that can be used to write a sermon on. But these are some that are usually more vague and cryptic of the few. The rest are generally interchangeable and they mean the same thing. So, if you guys agree with anything that I've said, feel free to follow and support my channel with a like, and you can swallow the red pill by hitting the red button. And tell me your thoughts in the comments. Maybe you've heard a term that I haven't listed, and maybe you want to share it with the community. You can also support my GoFundMe campaign, which is to support my new career path, and anything over my goal will go to a nonprofit organization to fund future officers, and help them pay their way through the police academy. In any case, thanks for watching, and I appreciate your time.